All right. Welcome, everyone. I am glad you're here. I'm glad you're joining in on Facebook and on Zoom. We are here today for the Mindfulness Broadcast. I am Tiffany Grimes. I am founder and lead professional coach with Evolutionary Consulting. And I have been doing this now for a good for months and months. This is episode 24, and I am so happy to be here. We join every Tuesday at, let me just pin this here. All right, we join every Tuesday at 1 to 1:15 to just be present and to be together on purpose in mindfulness. And so today's theme, it came to me this weekend. I live on a couple acres in Southern Oregon in the United States. And I was gardening this weekend and I found myself at my tool shed, and I had a big wheelbarrow, and I filled it with all sorts of tools that might, meet my needs for any challenge my unruly land might throw my way. And so I was grabbing garden gloves and shovels and trowels and a hula hoe, and I even have this like tiny flat edge screwdriver that I bring because it works really well in my garden beds. And so, I filled it up, and then I head out to my garden, and as I'm gardening, it was very cathartic. I was realizing that, this is really kind of a brilliant method, this waking up, choosing what tools I want to bring along to deal with my potential challenges, and then going about and doing it, and not getting caught up in whether the weed should be there, whether it should exist, whether the bug should eat my plant, whether the disease should have existed in the first place, right? I just go in, I choose what I'm going to do. I'm going to go work in my garden. I know I'm going to have challenges along the way. There'll be sun, I'll be thirsty. I prepare myself, I bring my tools, and I go and I do the business to be done. And I just thought about how beautiful that would be if we practice that concept in our real lives. This idea of I'm going to wake up today, I'm going to choose what I'm going to do. I'm going to parent, I'm going to work, I'm going to be in partnership, I'm going to be in community, I'm going to do those things that I'm going to do. And I will assume that I will find lots of challenges along the way. And I'm going to choose the tools to bring with me so that I can deal with these challenges, right? So that I can work with them, remove them, go around them, go over them, instead of resist them, instead of be frustrated that they exist in the first place. There's just the expectation that it will be there, and the kind of curiosity of like, how do I want to experience this? So I think about, I'm 46 years old, and I don't think I've ever woken up any day in my life and not faced a challenge or a dilemma. And so I think it's safe to assume that every day there will be some challenge or dilemma that comes my way, something that has the potential to stress me out. So maybe, it's the thing doesn't work, the link won't connect, the package didn't arrive, the email won't send, the person that's supposed to be here isn't here, the person that's supposed to call didn't call, the idea that I need to build my business isn't coming, my child isn't listening to me, right? Those are all things that I know are going to be there for me, and that I can choose the tool in advance so that I can manage that thing. I'm filled with tools, and I can choose breath work. I can choose my Take 5 practice. I think we did that together last week. I can choose a mantra that I want to practice. I can practice self-compassion and place a hand on my chest or even one on my belly. I can dive into my toolbox and choose some acceptance practice that I have about meeting myself where I am. I loved the concept. I love this idea about, let's wake up every morning and let's assume that just like every other day of our life, we are going to be met with opportunities that will challenge us. And that in advance, we go to our own tool shed and we go, how do I want to show up today? What do I want to do when I'm challenged? What do I want to do when my daughter rolls her eyes? What do I want to do when the phone doesn't ring? What do I want to do when the phone does ring? How do I want to prepare myself? And what tools do I want to bring to show up to that today? So we're going to use our practice for that concept today is really choice. What tool do you want to bring forward to meet the day? So go ahead and close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Very often we're told we need to close our eyes when we meditate, but for many people that does not invite comfort or calm. So I encourage you just to do what you need to do to be present. You can close your eyes, you can open your eyes. Feel your body as it sinks into this moment. Notice where your body makes contact with the chair, with the floor, with your clothes. Allow your belly to just soften, bringing the breaths deeper. Allow your front body to open, inviting breath, while your back body is strong and attentive. Allow your breathing to just go in its normal flow. Breathing in and breathing out. And we're going to practice a few moments of quietness where normally I guide us the entire time. I'm going to bring us to a moment and then leave us there before I bring us all back together. And that's the opportunity for you to get curious, to notice what tools you have, what ones are present for you today, and asking yourself which one you want to bring forward today as challenges arise. Not if challenges arise, but as challenges arise, what tool do you want to bring forward? And so some of you might be practicing breathing. Some of you might hear a mantra in your mind. Some of you might place a hand on your chest or on your chest and your belly. Or you might bring forward your own practice. And go ahead and focus on your breathing. And begin to allow your own tool of choice to come forward. How do you want to experience today's challenges as they arise? And what tool can you use to do that? As your mind wanders, just remember that this is part of the practice. Just catch that wandering mind and come back to the present moment, focusing on your tool. breathing. And come back together, relaxing your mind just a bit. And we'll go back into that silence. And just notice how it feels having done that. Could you visualize yourself showing up to the experience like you wanted? Could you access the tool that you wanted? We're going to go into that one more time, and you can choose a new tool. You can play with a new tool, a mantra, a breathing pattern, a touch. Practice with your senses, or you can do the same one you did in the first pause. Visualizing yourself showing up to your experience with intention, preparedness, purpose. Allowing your breath to continue to flow in and out. And if your mind wanders, smiling, noticing your human tendency. Our minds like to get busy when we ask them to be still. And so we just note that and we bring our mind back to the breath. I want to read to you something that spoke to me while you're in this place of just breathing in this last minute. This is called After a While by Veronica Schaafstal. And just continue to breathe and be present. And it says, after a while, you learn the subtle difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul. You learn that love doesn't mean leaning, and company doesn't mean security. And you begin to learn that kisses aren't contracts, and presents aren't promises. And you begin to accept your defeats with your head up and your eyes open, with the grace of a woman, not the grief of a child. And learn to build all your roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. And after a while, you learn that even sunshine burns if you get too much. So you plant your own garden and decorate your own soul, instead of waiting for someone to bring you flowers. And you learn that you really can endure, that you really are strong, and that you really do have worth. And you learn and learn. With every goodbye, you learn. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly opening your eyes, coming back to this moment together. Thank you all so much. It's great to see so many of you on Zoom and even more of you on Facebook Live. Thank you. I'll see you next week, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be well. Bye-bye.